Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, finally I welcome you all to the grand finals presented by Divas Showdown Season 1. And here's your caster for the day, Eagle, onto the other side. But talking about the particular day, well, it's gonna be the day 1, 9th to 11th March, a back to back 3-day battle in front of us. And if we talk about the first day, well, first day, the first map, well, this is of Miramar. 16 teams, 62 to 62 players are standing in front of each other. And if we talk about the fly path, well, a decent fly path could be witnessed around. Starting from those southern parts of the regions and ending towards those northern parts of the regions. And let's see how will the teams, let's see how will the players perform out, and what will be the standings, what will be the holdings, how will they cover out those regions. And if we look at those another regions of Los Leones, well, it's team TSR, Fez, Nazar, Zoria, Bepa, Suz, foreman standing. The enemies in front of them is looking very much astonishing. Looking at team APG, well, they are also foreman standing with a good hold, with a pretty good decent start from their side, having foreman strong advantage without any finish point. I don't think it's a great start to watch out, but at those starting phases, players are very indulgent out towards their loot. They're totally focused on their loot, the helmet, the vest, as well as when we talk about those height advantages in Miramar, because as we all know, Miramar is all about those height advantages, all about those riches, and this could be really challenging for the teams and players as well. Looking at TSR Zoria, looking at Faiz Nazad, Suz, Bebo, I think they're looking in a good hold. They're looking in a good approach to be maintained out onto the end. Talking about Indy Loa X2, well, there you go. Gets LB has been taken down by Piano, and its team Indy, Zappo, Vitamin, Zezi, and Dowell. All of them are four men standing, looking on a great hold, great position to be witnessed out. And let's see how will they cherish out the momentum. How will they cherish out the those angles, those position. TS Soria, Bebo, Suz, and Farinazad. Well, all of them are four men standing with a pretty good hold, with a pretty good confidence, and some decent weapons into their hand. Let's see how will they move on, and what will be the upstandings as well. Well, let's see. I don't think this is gonna be that easy. This is gonna be that satisfying for the team, satisfying for the players as well. But looking at the zone formation, well, a decent zone formation could be witnessed out toward those certain parts of the region. And there you go, Impala. It's looking really, really very difficult for the teams. It's looking really, really very challenging for the teams. Team TSR, well, they are looking in a great hold. They are looking in a great approach to be mentioned out. 16 teams, 61 players are standing out. A perfect compact lobby to be maintained off. A perfect compact region to be chased off. Let's see how will they challenge out. What will be the potential? What will be the hold? It could be really, really very struggling. It could be really, really very challenging for the teams to be maintained off. I don't think teams and players could be clarified enough that it could be really difficult process for themselves. But talking about the eastern parts of the region, well, this could be really challenging as well. Impala is a pretty decent region to watch out. MRK, Mafia, Elsa, Anna, and Piano, all of them are four men standing. They have got those four finishes point, and this is a start what we were talking about. This is the start what we were waiting for, and finally teams are totally on the roll. Well, on to the other end, if we look at some other regions, if we look at some other position, northern parts of the region, well, it's still looking really very crunchy to watch out. Team Indy, well, Vitamin, Zappo, Zezi, and Davi, all of them are four men standing, and they've got just a single finish point to be taken on. And yes, this could be a slow start. This could be a very steady start to be maintained off. Almost 4.5 minutes are left to zone shrink, and after this, a lot of trouble, a lot of challenges could be maintained out. Again, moving towards Team APG, June AG could be witnessed. Talking about Chomakera region, it's Val, Summer, Sky, Benjamin, Genesic, and as well as Gen 6, Summer as well. They all are 4 men standing with those zero finishes point, almost on top 15 teams, almost on top 57 players. And let's see how will they move on. Let's see what will be the angles, what will be their position. Talking about those eastern parts of the region, MRK, Piano, Anna, Elsia, Mafia, all of them, well, they're having a good approach, 4 finishes point. And yes, this is also a pretty good start. This is also a pretty great start to be mentioned out. If we move with that same consistency, if we move with that same momentum, I think this could be really very struggling for the teams and very struggling for the opponents. How they will tackle your opponents. Talking about Liquid 5 Esports, well, it's Fury, Fleur, Mew Mew, Catalan, all of them are 4 men standing with those zero finishes point into their favor. They're also on top 15 teams, top 57 are live players, and getting a good hold, getting a good position into their side. And yes, this is what we talk about, this is what we mentioned about. I don't think this will be that easy, this will be that, a crucial to watch out. But on to the other end, Indie Lawn, well, I think they are looking in danger. Well, if you look at their side and onto the right hand side, it's team number 16 looking very close and very composed as well. They are totally onto the roll. They haven't secured any finish point. They have lost their one player, but I think they were eager to get those drop clashes into their side. But apart from that, apart from these region, if we look at those northern parts of the region, well, MAB, Cherry, Luni, Lucid, Misaki, and UND, all of them, well, they are also 4 men standing with a great hold, with a great position to be mentioned out. Top 15 teams, top 57 players, well, they are still standing out with the same potential and with the same hold. But let's see how will they magnify out the things, how will they magnify out the potential. Talking about the southern parts is Team TSR. They're also 4 men standing, moving very steadily, moving very slowly for now time being. 15 teams, 57 players are standing out, and let's see how will they move on. Well, typically looking at those another regions, typically looking at those, lost of teams. Well, Team MAB, Lucid, Cherry, Luna, Misaki. Now Misaki is having a buggy. She's still moving on very slowly, very apartedly, very calmly. And I think she would avoid the fight at those early phases, because taking the fights at this point of time, I don't think it will be worth it at all. You should first gain those man advantages. You should first gain those, players advantage, as well as those a good potential hold onto their side, and then you can go for those another parts. But looking at team number 16, they're also 3 men standing, having a pretty decent hold. They're almost on top 15 teams, top 57 are live players. Naisiki, it's DVE, Kalex, YNN, all of them are 3 men standing with those zero finishes point into their backpack. They're almost on top 15 teams and top 57 live players. Let's see how will they move on and what will be the results as well. But if we talk about the zone shrink, well, the zone shrink is finally taking place, and finally a good movement is being seen out onto the another part of the region. Team Stalwart Esports, well, Baby, Violet, Wisdom, and Duca, all of them are 4 men standing. They haven't secured any finish point yet. They haven't got a good start from their side, but they are still struggling. They are still having those man disadvantages. If we look at the current condition, it's not looking that good. They need to get inside the zone. Almost they have to travel 1000 meter, which is really very devastating to move on with. But looking at those another region, looking at those another position, I think it could be really difficult. Los Leones is that region, the central part of the zone, the zone of attraction, the zone of region. Looking at those northeastern parts of the region, it's Team TRS, Liquid 5 Esports, Fury, Mew, Catalan, Flow, all of them are 4 men standing. And there you go, Mew, well, she is looking in trouble, having some typical shots into their vehicle, and there you go, Mew has been taken down. Catalan, will she go for that support? This is the question rising. Talking about Fury, well, she's also looking very, very close to the opponents, but I don't think she will take that risk at this point of the time because it could be really challenging and struggling for the team. The team needs to get that position point, get those place point into their hand, get those place point into their favor. But looking at the northern parts of the region, well, it's still really, really very challenging. Cherry, Lune, Misaki, Lucid, UIO, all of them are foreman standing with those zero finishes point, and let's see how will they expand. Let's see how will they maintain the same consistency. Multiple fights has been taken down. Misaki, finally she'll try to get some more finishes point. Lucy, well, she has already got a few finishes point, and another rotation clash could be witnessed around Team INDI. Well, with that Scarlet and 4x Doy, she is looking very sharp and very consistent enough, and a great shot, a great tap shot is witnessed out. Linen is being taken down. Talking about Vitamin, she is also holding a great approach. She is also holding a great progression to be taken on. TSR Shuz, Bebo, Farzina and Zoria, well, all of them are foremen standing, and a great start could be witnessed around. A great start could be mentioned around. Apart from those things, if we look at those another regions at those eastern parts, some silent teams could also be witnessed around. Talking about Team MRK, well, silently they have got a good number of finishes point into their favor. If we look at their finishes point, they're almost 4 finishes point, which is a great start to be mentioned out, which is a great start to be chased out. And well, I believe this is really very challenging. This is really very struggling for the teams and players, that how will they magnify out the position, how will they magnify out their regions, because I don't think so that this will be that easy, and multiple clashes, multiple rotation clashes now onwards could be witnessed around, as the teams at the players are moving around. Looking at Belmoth, she is still waiting on. Looking at Frozen, he is also waiting on, and great spray could be witnessed on Cherry. She is not knowing the position, and finally great shot is taken down. Frozen, she is coming up with the tempo 15 and 4x. Great tracing has been witnessed out here, but I don't think this will be that easy for team number 9 to fall back. Team number 9 looking in a great trouble to move on. You should have a plan B as well. Team number 19, they have got that one finish point in the heat of the moment, and I believe this could be really struggling. Maybe Mikasi and maybe Misaki, she's still waiting on. Stalavati Sports Baby, I think she's also looking at a great hold, great approach. A third party scenario, third party, fourth party scenario could be witnessed out, and let's see how will they figure out the situation, how will they heal out the situation, what will be the approach. Duka, well, she's again going on roll, she's again trying to maintain the momentum, and if you look at Duka, well, some amazing sprays are being witnessed out. 15 teams, 52 players are standing out, and this is the stage 2, which means this is the second zone shrink, and after this a lot of trouble, a lot of tackle could be maintained out as the zone shrink will take place at the players, as the player will come close to each other. This could be really challenging for the team. Maybe Luni, she is very close to team Stalwart Sports, and when both of the teams are very close to each other, a lot of struggle, a lot of challenges could be witnessed out, and a lot of difficulties could be maintained out. Well, let's see how will the players, let's see how will the teams perform out, and what will be the approach, or what will be what will be their momentum onto their side. But I don't think this is gonna be that easy, or that potentialized enough. A lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges could be witnessed out. Stalwart Esports, well, they're still looking in a great hold. Talking about team number 19, GL, Bam Bam, Cosmo 68, Belmoth, and Frozens, they're also looking in a great hold to watch out. Stalwart Esports not looking in a great position, not looking in a great stance to be taken on. But onto the other end, if we look at Lune, if we look at Lucid and Misaki, all of them are 3 men standing with those one finish point into their favor, and I think this fight could be really very challenging. This fight could be really very struggling, because this is the typical fight between 3 teams, and a tripod 3 fights will always cause a lot of trouble. We can see Stalwart Esports towards those left hand part of the region, and if we look at team MAB, they are at those right hand part of the region, and the back end, well, this is holded by team GL. So if there's any fight between any 2 teams, the third team will enjoy their dinner, and there's a high probability chances that they could win the areas as well. So yes, let's see which team will take those advantages, which team will take those potential, which team have those potential to grab those high potential energy from this game. But right now I think some teams are often there who are trying to get those position point. Looking at Team I and DY, they're looking very calm. They're looking very composed. Are trying to move very steadily and very shortly. But onto the other end, talking about MAB, Misaki, Luni, you said, and I believe. As well as Lucy UTD. Well, they're also looking in a great hold. They're also looking in a great progression. And almost 14 teams, 50 players are standing out. And there you go. The fight has totally been initiated. MMYZ has been taken down. Bomoth as well as XCL Winex. Well, there you go. Bomoth has been taken down onto the other end. It's Winex, a solo player standing for the team. Let's see how will she fall back. What will be her potential to take it on. But finally, she has been disengaging the fight, which is great decision, because taking the fight at this time will not give you any result. But if you disengage the fight, there's a chance that you could get those place point at least. Well, right now 14 teams, 47 players are standing. Stage 3 has been totally incompetent. 33 to 34 seconds have been left out, and let's see how will they engage out and how will the results be more synchronized. Well, 14 teams, so 47 players are still standing out, and there you go. A new zone shrink could be formed out. Talking about Stalwart Esports, well, they're looking in a great hold. They're almost 4 men standing with those 4 men standing with those zero finishes point into their favor, but they're still struggling to get those finishes point. They're still struggling to get those position point, and this is really very difficult. This is really very challenging to watch. And if you go with that same momentum, if you go with that same hold, I totally agree. A lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges could be witnessed out. But right now, if we look at the multiple fights, well, team number 19, they are looking in a good hold. They're looking in a good potential, and I totally agree. This is really very difficult for the teams. Talking about the southern parts of the region, it's Abgune AG, Abkaitu OG, Kriti OG, and June OG. Well, on to the other end, team number 5. Well, they're also 4 men standing with those zero finishes point into their favor, and a lot of struggle, a lot of challenges could be mentioned. Around 14 teams, 47 players are still standing out, and let's see what will be the approach, what will be the momentum for the further time being, for the upcoming time being. But yes, if we look at another hold, if we look at another momentum, I think it's really challenging. I think it's really struggling for the teams. It's really struggling for the players to be maintained out. Talking about the southern parts of the region, well, southern parts of the region is still very much crucial. It's still very much difficult for the teams to watch out. It's team APG. Another fight could be witnessed out. Team APG is totally ready to gatekeep the scenarios, challenge team number 5, and I think team number 5, well, they're also very much ready take this fight into their favor and take this fight into their side, because this could be really difficult. Talking about team number 5, Pinky, LD, and Lord, all of them, well, they're totally ready. Talking about the new zone formation, I think this could be a table turning performance from their side. This could be really challenging. Team EDT, well, a great rotation from this side. They are totally 4 men standing, taking that buggy. Maha, well, she's leading the game. She's leading the team as a leader, but right now this is really very challenging. A great powerful spray has been taken down by Maha, and that what we call a laser pinpoint spray. Behind this win, this team had and a great presentation of teamwork, a great presentation of player work has been shown down. Team APP, Barbie AG, it's APP June AG, PT AG, APP Kaitu AG, all of them, well, they are 4 men standing, and some great spray, some great potential gameplay has been shown. Team number 5, well, they are looking in trouble. 2 players has been taken down. Sandlord is that solo player standing, and a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges has been delivered out. Talking about the western parts of the region, well, this is still very much challenging. It's Team Val, Sky, Benjamin, Samo, and Jen Sek. All of them are 4 men standing with those zero finishes pointing to the favor. Almost on top 14 teams, almost on top 43 live players, and let's see how will they play off. What will be the results? Jenny Key, well, she's not looking in a great hold. She's not looking in a great momentum to watch her. Great spray with that MP45 has been taken down. She's really looking in a very danger. Jeb Benjamin has been taken. The last player, the lone ranger standing for the team. I don't think this will be that easy, and finally she has been eliminated out. 14 teams, 39 players is been standing out, and a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges is been delivered out. Well, Sky, if we talk about this player, well, she's been that solo player standing for the team without any finishes point, almost on top 14 teams, top 38 alive players. Let's see for how much more longer time Sky will able to survive here, for how much more longer time Sky will able to wait. But I think this could be really challenging. GL, Belmont, Cosmot, Franzens, and Bam Bam, all of them are women standing the good hold, the good progression onto their side. 13 teams, 36 players are standing out. This is the stage 4. This is the great momentum to be hold out. Talking about the central parts of the region, it's Infinavora. Well, she is totally moving barely, barefooted, without any vehicle, without any cover. I think she is, really looking very dangerous for other teams to be taken on. But western parts of the region, it's Team ADT looking very strong. Foreman standing with those 5 finishes point, almost on top 13 teams, top 36 alive players. And this is what we talk about. This is what we look for. I don't think it's gonna be that easy. I don't think it's gonna be that unusual enough. But there you go. It's Team INDY Jesse. She's taking some amazing sprays to be watched out. Jesse, Jack, all of them are two standing well. They're coming very close to each other. Stalwart Esports. This is what we call a perfect fight. Stalwart Esports will deliver a great level of performance from their side, and finally they'll get those 3 finishes point into the favor. This is what we were talking about. This is what the big names play like. This is what the big names are known for. And finally 3 players are standing with those 3 finishes point. The number 3 is looking really very confronting for this team. Will they able to get that 3rd position? But there you go, they are again trying to initiate the 3rd fight up for the day. Well, it's Team EDT versus Team Stalwart Esports, 2 big names in front of each other. And finally now the result will be declared very soon, and it could be really very tough for both of the teams. 10 teams, 29 players are standing out. Let's see what will be the results, what will be the momentum, how will they play off. And I don't think this could be that easy. I don't think this could be that usually enough. But Infina War, I think this is really very crucial. This is really very challenging. Teams are coming very closer to each other. The breathing space is decreasing down by the time. And Stalwart Esports, they are looking really very big danger, because the confidence which they are showing, I don't think this will go for a longer period of time. A sandwich scenario could be created. Infina War, well, from a longer period of time, this team is waiting alongside 10 teams, 29 players, as we can see, are still waiting here. This is the 5th zone, and finally some amazing grenades, some amazing throwables could be seen around. Stalwart Esports is still looking in a great hold. Stalwart Esports is still looking in a great approach. Baby Violet, Wisdom, all of them, well, they are moving with a great hold and a great potential. Team number 12, well, they're also 4 men standing, but they have got those 7 finishes point. This is what we called a perfect dominating gameplay. They haven't lost a single player, though they are not inside the zone. But surely I think they could get inside the zone in a very short period of time. But 7 finishes point, well, this is what we call a perfect domination to be maintained of. But Stalwart Esports, we are expecting a lot from them. They need to deliver a brand level performance from their side. Stalwart Esports itself is a brand, and I think the brand name should be delivered. Team SITM, they're looking in a very great strong approach, and finally this could make a lot of difference. Some amazing shots, some amazing play could be really very challenging for team number 6, Team APG. Well, this was something very difficult to be tackled on. Team SITM Maria, well, that was really very cheeky to be taken on. Some amazing Mesmerized spray of M416 and 3x has been shown, and this is, if I'm not wrong, 4th or 5th zone. No, this is the 6th one. 10 teams, 29 players. The intensity of the lobby is totally banging on Stalwart Esports Violet with that grenade. She is totally banged off the opponents. And finally the map of Miramar is totally turning into a man-made red zone. As we can see, this is the area. This is the area of chaos. This is the area of clusters. This is the area which is really devastating, which is really challenging to be maintained up. And let's see how will the players, let's see how will the teams tackle it down, and what will be the approach, what will be the momentum. I don't think this will be that easy to be chased on, but Let's see how they can take it on. But right now, this condition, well, this is really very challenging. This is really very struggling. 9 teams, 23 players, different players, different teams with their different motives. And right now, I think this is the most important time to be maintained of Team APG on the screen. Well, Kaiju OG looking very struggling, looking very challenging, and onto the other end, Team SITM. Well, they're also having a great hold. Team GL Belgium is going for that 1v1, and finally he lost that. He lose that 1v1, and of course, he'll lose the game as well. 7 teams, 17 players are standing out right now, right here. And I think this is really very challenging. This is really very struggling to be maintained off. Looking at another condition, it's Team MRK. Well, they're also having a great hold. They're also having a great position to be maintained off. And how will they play off? This is the question rising right now, right here. How will they move on? This is the question rising, but think this could be that easy. I don't think this could be that crucial enough. 7 teams, so 17 players are standing right now, right here. Different buildings, different teams, and the source of level, the level of competition is totally being witnessed out. And this is really something different to be watched out. This is really something very different to be chased out. And I don't think this will be easy for the team, or this will be easy for the players to be mentioned. Not a lot of challenges could become around the game, and each player is very close to each other. Some amazing grenades, some amazing throwables is been witnessed out, and a lot of difficulties. Team MAB Lucio UID has been taken down. Team MRK looking very close, very sharpened in front of each other. I think this is a really very challenging SITM. Well, they're also looking a close score. It's Infinikami. She's been taken down by that Molotov, and now the time has come for that winner chicken in the top 7 teams, top 16 alive players on an average. Each team will consist of almost 2 to 3 players into their side with those man advantage. And there you go, Lucy has been taken down. Misaki is still living in that trouble. Team EDT, well, they're very close to that chicken in the Team MRK, having those man advantage into their side, will totally take on those scenarios into their favor. But Team 15 not taking that strong enough. They're looking in a danger. 6 teams, 11 players, a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges has been maintained out. This is the stage 8. This is the moment for that chicken dinner. One good team with those man advantage and with those finishes point and confidence into their favor will get that the first match of winner chicken dinner. In fact, the first day winner chicken dinner. Team EDT looking very strong. It's Infame Palmy, well, they're also looking a great hold. And Team number 12, I think this is the team what we were talking about. This is the team what we were waiting for. And finally, a great source of aggression has been maintained out. 6 teams and 9 players is still being seen around. And in front of them, it's another one. It's NIXC, DEFDVA, NIXC getting a good hold. And there you go, some amazing sprays could be witnessed out. Some amazing, shots could be taken down. This team has finally got those 11 finishes point into their favor. Some amazing grenades, some amazing throwables on point, and totally changed the game and totally changed the momentum. But they're still trying out, they're still struggling on, they're still trying to grab those positions. 3 teams, 6 players, they're very close to that winner chicken dinner. Team number 12, they could win this match. It's Infin Palmy, last player standing for the team, and I don't think this will be easy for that team. Winner chicken dinner is in front of us. This particular team has won the game very phenomenally. If we talk about the finishers point, well, that is also really very fantastic to take on. That is also really very challenging to take on. Well, if we look at those finishers point, well, multiple finishers point has been taken down. If we look at Team MRK, it's almost 15 finishes point into their favor. If we look at another team, it's INF's getting the second position. It's almost 8 finishes point into their favor. This is what we call the perfect game. If we look at Team APG, they have almost got 4 finishes points. So different teams have got different finishes point, but the top 5 teams, I think they played totally phenomenally with a great number advantage and great dominating performance. Well, this was the first match of the day, and I think by this we'll take a short break, guys, but within a short break, we'll join you guys with another match, another game, which is really very devastating to take down, which is really very entertaining to watch out. Till then, stay tuned, keep hitting that like button, subscribing the channel, sharing the stream, and we'll join after a short break. Okay, so well, ladies and gentlemen, finally here we are coming up with the third match of a day, and I'm really sorry, guys, due to some technical issues, we couldn't join in the second match. But finally, here we are with the third match of the day, and if we talk about the third match, well, particularly this is the map of Sanhok. It's a very small, very tidy map to watch out. A very we could see multiple fights, multiple chaos, multiple difficulties at this particular match. But let's see how will the teams, how will the players play off, and what will be the results. Talking about the fly path, well, it was almost from Moon Guy towards Camp Alpha, and as we talk about the fights, well, finally the fights is in the action. Looking at Infinipami, it's Nagdeem, Invara, all of them are four-men standing with one finish point into their favor. They haven't lost any player. Paradise Resort, well, the name is really very beautiful to watch out. It's Paradise, but I don't think it will work for a longer period of time. Talking about Team EDT. Luna, NDU, Piku, Maha, all of them are four-men standing with zero finishes point to their favor. And yes, it is a good start to watch. It is a very decent start to be maintained off. And let's see how will they maximize out their position, how will they maximize out their hold boot camp. Well, there you go. This was an amazing knock by Maha and a perfect start, a perfect pick to be maintained off. Let's see for how much more longer time will she attain the momentum, will she attain the holding. This is the question to watch out. Well, beneath those things, I'll request each and everyone to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and do show your support, because it really becomes very much important for each of us to maintain that same momentum, to maintain that same decorum of the game. But right now, looking at the condition right now, looking at the other momentum, looking at the Hathin, well, this is a perfect region to be maintained out. This is a perfect region to be chased on. MRK, Piano, Elsa, and Mufar, Mafia, all of them are four-men standing with one finisher point into the favor. In front of them, it's Team Stalwart Esports. Not looking that strong, not looking that holdable enough, but yes, they could maintain some hold, they could maintain some progression to be chased on. And let's see for how much more longer time they will attain that same momentum, they will attain that same position. But right now it's looking really very crucial to be maintained of Stalwart Esports, so looking in danger, especially that solo player Violet looking very close with that devious into her hand, hitting those back-to-back shots right into the bucket. I don't think this will work for a longer period of time, but yes, she is trying her level best to get some more finishes point, and this could be really very challenging. This could be really very struggling for the teams, very struggling for the players, that how will they maintain that momentum, how will they maintain out that position. But right now there comes the phenomenal spray, Valid with that counter attack, Wisdom now being that solo player standing. Let's see which approach she will dive in for. But right now, as being the last player for the team, the whole responsibilities onto her shoulder. Will she able to get that clutch? I don't think so that should be possible. And finally it's MRK Piano, she will take that final blow, and with that final blow, total 4 finishes point has been secured by the team. And great start by Team MRK. But Team EDT, well, they're still going with that slow and steady approach. Well, they're still going with that slow and steady momentum. Let's see how will they maximize their position, how will they maximize the hold, how will they maximize their positioning to be maintained off. And right now condition is not looking that great, the condition is not looking that doable enough. A lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges could be mentioned out. Well, talking about Team Val, well, they are 4-men standing with some decent finishes point into their favor. A good number of finishes point has been secured by the team. They're almost on top 15 teams. Our top 55 are live players. A pretty good start is given to the team. A pretty good start is given to the player. Team EDT, well, they're looking in a great hold. They're looking in a great position to be mentioned out. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. Mama, well, she's coming in a close call. She's coming in a close approach. And it be possible, will it be possible to get those finishes point into this right point. Info 16, well, this is a very decent weapon to chase out. Bootcamp, well, finally that opening knock, Maha has been taken down. Piku, Hantyu and Luna, all of them are 3-men standing in the first loss of the first player. Well, this is really challenging. This is really very difficult to move on with. And this could be really difficult. This could be really challenging. And finally, Luna is taking those picks. The boot camp region is totally looking very clusterized, totally looking very challenging. Luna has been taken down, and you and Luna, the last two players turning. Pico has also been picked off. It's anti you, the last, the lone ranger surviving for the team. Let's see how will she, Shaba, how will she survive, for how much more longer period of time she can survive. This is the question rising out, and I don't think this could be that easy. This could be that potentialized enough. 15 teams, 53 players, the lone ranger surviving for the team. Let's see, will she able to perform it out? No, I don't think this will be possible. And team well, they will get a good pick out of here. They will get a good momentum out of here. And finally, looking at the condition, looking at the momentum, the game is totally under the roll, as this is the map of Sanhok. Sanhok always comes with a lot of responsibility, always comes with a lot of momentum, and as we can see, the responsibilities and the momentums are totally being delivered out. Well, similarly looking at other teams, similarly looking at the other players, as we can see on the screen, there are multiple teams holding their multiple position, holding their multiple stacks. It's team number 13 looking very strong, looking very holdable enough right now, right here. I don't think this will work for a longer period of time. I don't think this will work for a longer hold. But yes, if they maintain that same decorum, if they maintain that same hold, I think this could really change the position. This could really, make a lot of difference in this fight, make a lot of difference, make a lot of change in the game. But will that be possible? Will is that doable enough? I don't think so. This is that easy to take on. But right now they're trying their level best. Team number 16 also looking in a great hold. A new zone formation could be witnessed out. A new zone hold could be maintained on. Let's see how will the players take these things on, because as we move forward, as we go inside the game, as we go more inside the game, the more difficult it becomes for the teams, the more difficult it becomes for the player to take on with. But looking at the current condition, I don't think so this will be that easy, or that chaotic enough to chase on. But boot camp, well, this region is always difficult, this region is always challenging for each of us to maintain off. And right now, looking at the current condition, I totally agree, a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties could be maintained out of the teams holding boot camp region from the earliest period to the longest period of the time. Let's see which team will be able to hold this particular region. I'll request each and everyone to please guys go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates. Do show your support, because it really becomes very much important for each of us to get that constantly support. And as we can see, a lot of struggle, a lot of chaos is being seen around those central parts of the region. A lot of difficulties has been maintained out. Has been central parts of the region. It's Infigami and Nadima and Vara, as well as Almi. All of them are holding a great position. All of them are holding a great hold from their side. Top 14 teams, top 50 alive players, as we can see, are still standing around. And yes, this is a good start, this is a good momentum to be maintained off. Let's see how will the teams, let's see how will the players take on, and what will be their approach. But right now, I don't think this will be that easy for the teams, because looking at the current condition, up to the next zone formation, teams and players will totally be moving with that slow and steady approach. Of course, a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges could come abide in the roads, but I don't think they are ready for the fights right now. They will take their time, or they will take their momentum, and afterwards I totally agree they could initiate some more fights. Well, beneath those things, I'll request each and everyone to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and do show your support. Onto the other side, a new zone formation could be witnessed out. Boot camp is still a region to worry out. Boot camp is still a region to challenge out. Let's see how will the players, let's see how will the teams tackle these position out. What will be the strategy? A lot of multiple teams, a lot of multiple chaos is witnessed out. As we can see, there are almost 3 to 4 teams living around boot camp. 50, as we can see, it's 50 alive players, 14 teams. It's really very difficult to tackle each and every player, each and every team to take down. But right now there are almost 2 teams in front of each other. They're not trying to initiate fight, they're just close to each other, taking their time, taking their initiative. As soon as the time comes, they'll surely indulge themselves into a fight, and will surely get some more finishes point. But right now, I don't think this connection is very much good. I don't think this connection is very much doable enough. Let's see what will be the results or what will be the momentum. But yes, some multiple teams have their multiple holdings. Team number 7, as we can see, they're also looking very aparted, very close. And there comes the new zone formation which we were talking about. A new zone formation is always really very challenging. Team number 19, team GL, well, they're also looking in a close call. They are also looking in a close hole. Let's see how will they initiate the fights. But right now, the current condition not looking so great. Teams are very departed enough, very softed enough. They are not trying to initiate those fight at any point of the game. And for how much more longer time will these things take on? Because as the zone will shrink in, I think this could be really challenging. This could be really struggling for the teams, because as the zone will shrink, the players will come very closer to each other. Very sensitive games would be taken on. Each and every fight would become very much important. One wrong move, one wrong process, one wrong step can eliminate you from this particular match. Well, consistently looking at team number 16, well, they're also having a great hold, great position from their side. And let's see how much that position, that hold will affect the team or affect the players. But right now, 14 teams, 48 players, a lot of chaos, a lot of difficulties has been maintained out. I don't think this will work for a longer period of time. I don't think this will work for a longer hold. But yes, if we look at those, shores region, if you look at those positioning region, this is really very devastating to watch out. This is really very challenging to watch out. How will they maintain the decorum? How will they maintain their hold? But right now, looking at the current condition, I don't think this is that difficult, or this is that undoable to take on with. But certain parts, finally, what the fight we were talking about, Rebellious has been taken down. It's Ghost Ego and Skylight 444. Both of them were very close to each other, and the first knock has been taken down. We are waiting for the second one. For how much more longer time we have to wait for the second knock? It's really very challenging, and it's really very difficult to take on with. But 14 teams, 46 players are still standing out. Yes, the next knock could be really very challenging. The next knock could be really very difficult to move on with. But before that, I'll request each and everyone to, guys, please go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates. Do show your support. And there you go, it's a get so Skyly 444 moving with that EMP45. Will that be successful enough? She's trying to take those spray, but Team GL, well, they were tricky strong enough. It's easy getting those knocks onto those right point and onto those right way. But as we were talking about the multiple fights, finally the multiple fights is in action. Multiple teams are trying to initiate those fights, and there you go, Eggy has finally initiated that fight, and finally she'll get those finishes point as well. A perfect example of proceeding Team APG onto the other end. They are also looking in very big trouble. They're also looking in a great source of undoability. But if the man advantage is there, the table could turn at any point of the game. They're having those 4-man strong advantage, and a lot of game could be changed around. But onto the other end, looking at boot camp regions, well, boot camp, I think this is the region where you should worry for. I'm sorry. This is the region where you should worry for, because whenever we talk about the fights, whenever we talk about the consistency, whenever we talk about the high skill gameplay, well, this is the region where you should be very careful for. And of course, teams are looking really, really very careful right now, right here. And looking at team number 16, they're also four men standing with zero finishes pointed to their favor. They're almost on top 12 teams, top 40 alive players, getting a great hold, getting a great progression into their side. This is the stage for. In front of them, it's Team Liquid 5 Esports. They're also four men standing now. There are three men standing with those zero finishes point. A great, perfect, doable starter onto their end. And this is what we're talking about. You should be very consistent enough. There you go. It's team number 6 versus team number 19. They're looking very close to each other with the DBS Moth closes the game, and it's GL Cosmo 8. She is totally ready for that third party engagement. Multiple fights could be witnessed out, multiple engagement could be chased on. This could be really challenging. This could be really struggling for the team and team GL. Finally, with that 4 finishes point and loss of one player, I think they have earned it, and they should be really, really very grateful for their teamwork, for their progression. But I don't think this is the end. This is the start. I think this is the game what we talk about. This is the game what we wait for. And finally, 12 teams, 34 players, as we can see in front of them. It's, if we look at those southern parts of the region where Liquid 5 Esports, Mew Mew, she is still trying to create some buffer around those regions. She is still trying to create some chaos around the region. Will that be possible? This is the question arising. I don't think so this will be that easy, but yes, if you're going with that slow and doable approach, this could be really something different what we talk about. This could be really something challenging what we talk about. But right now, 12 teams, 33 players are standing out. A lot of struggle has been maintained off, a lot of challenge has been maintained off. And right now, there you go. Team Liquid Esports is totally on roll. They're getting those finishes point into those right momentum under difficult scenarios has been created out. In front of them is team number 20, Liquid 5 Esports. In front of them is team number 11 as well, SI Team Juicy. A lot of difficulties has been maintained out, a lot of challenges has been chased out, and let's see for how much more longer time they could attain the same consistency, or they could attain the same momentum. But just because of drowning, they have been eliminated. Team APG very close to Liquid. I'm sorry. Looking at Team APG, they're very close to Liquid 5 Esports. A 4v3 scenario could also be witnessed out. And I don't think so this will work for a longer period of time. This will work for a longer hold. You should eagerly come with some conclusion. You should eagerly come with some ending, sort of ending. Yes, this could really change the sort of mind at what could be the result. But Liquid 5 Esports, so they are very known. They're very smart enough with the games, with their plans, and right now the same thing has been delivered out. Well, there you go. Some amazing shots has been taken. It's Liquid 5 Esports coming with that heal battle. APG, well, they are still waiting on. They are still going on. And this wait, this hold, I don't think this will work for a longer period of time. There's one time where you should change the gear. The one time you should change the momentum and finally go and get those finishes point at those right spot. Otherwise, you lose the momentum. You lose the game. If you lose the game, you lose that hold as well. So yes, you have one chance, you should gain that chance, and you should gain that momentum as well. And finally, the same has been thought around. 8 teams, 18 players have been shotted out. Let's see which team will get that momentum. Right now it's APG getting those shots onto those right point. It's Val getting those shots momentum as well. Proper difficult scenarios has been chased out. A proper difficult scenario has been maintained out. Talking about GL Bam Bam, she is totally outside of the zone, trying to get those position point, trying to get those areas which is totally been required. 8 teams, 18 players. Diagonal river is being witnessed out, and I don't think this will create a lot of difference. This will create a lot of challenges. But yes, 8 teams, 18 players. Let's see which team will get that chicken dinner. I don't think so this will be that easy for any one of the team to be maintained off, but yes, this could be really difficult for any one of the team whoever is outside of the zone without those man advantage, without those player advantage. Of course, this could create a lot of essence around. Of course, beneath those things, I would also like to request each and every one of you guys to please go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, because as we can see, it's 5 teams, 11 players are standing out, which is a great number to take on with. This is the 7th stage, a very crucial stage to be taken on. And of course, teams needs to be really very careful to be taken on, because at any point of the game a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges could be chased on. And looking at that solo player onto the screen is TRS Bebo getting those heal battles done, the lone ranger, the lone survivor for the team. Let's see for how much more time he will gain that momentum, for how much more time he will gain that hold. I don't think this will be possible at all for a longer period of time, but yes, for how much time? Let's see. This is the question rising out right now. But before that, guys, I'll request each and everyone to please go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates. Do show your support, because it becomes really very important for each of us to get that support and get that momentum. And now finally, with that hold, we are on to the top 3 teams and top 6 players. And finally, this is the ending what we were talking about. Liquid 5 esports got 2 finishes point. Team MRK, well, they got that winner chicken dinner, and a perfect game, a perfect hold has been witnessed out. Talking about Team APG, they have got those 6 finishes point into their favor. A great momentum was chased out. Team MAB was also very challenging and also very crucial to take down. But Stalwart Esports, well, this was really something different to take on with. This was something really very different to chase on with, because Stalwart Esports, we was not expecting the elimination at this point of the time. But yes, I think the early elimination sometimes differs a lot, sometimes challenges you a lot, and the same challenges, same difficulties could be maintained out in this game also. But beneath the things, after the end, well, this will be the end of third match of the day, and after the end we'll be also having the last match of the day, which is the map of Sanhok or Erangel. Till then, we'll take a short break and we'll meet after a short break. Till then, enjoy the highlights. Okay, so well, ladies and gentlemen, finally here we are coming up with another day in the match, and this is the last match of particular day. Well, if we talk about the game, if we talk about the players, if we talk about the teams, before all that, I would request you all to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and do show your support because this is the Diva Showdown season 2, and a fantastic game is totally onto the roll. Let's see how will the teams, how will the players initiate the fights, what will be the momentums, what will be the strategy, and the map of Erangel. Whenever we talk about the map of Erangel, well, this is the by default map to take on with. This is the by default map to chase on with. Talking about the fly path, well, a decent fly path could be witnessed around. Looking at the water city region, well, a drop clash could be seen around. A perfect drop clash could be maintained around, and let's see how will the players, how will the teams initiate those fights, how will the players, how will the teams initiate those momentums, what will be their strategies, what will be their momentums. This become very much important for the teams, this becomes very much important for the players as well. Exami will, he's still trying to get those momentum, he's still trying to get those shots totally right into his area, but that shotgun, I don't think this will help him for a longer period of time. I don't think this will help him for a helper for a longer period of game. But yes, he's trying his, she is trying her level best. She is trying her level best to get those finishes squad, and finding that S1897 will not play a vital role. Elimination will be done very shortly around those regions. Well, I would also request each and everyone to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and do show your support as well, because this becomes very much important for each of us to get that momentum, to get that motivation from you all to get that support. But right now, some amazing sprays have been taken down, some amazing shots have been taken down. There you go, it was not long. OP looking at Vermouth. Well, he's that solo player standing for the team. Let's see what he'll do. The only and last option left for him is to get that position point for the team, fall back from these areas, get those position point, get those areas, and at least he could secure some early finishes point, early placement for the team to rank a good position in the overall standing. But looking at those northeastern part of the region, this is really very crucial to watch out. A very decent, a very chaotic region to be chased on with, a very difficult region to be chased on with. Liquid 5 Esports, Mew Mew, Fury, and Catalan, all of them are still surviving on, all of them are still waiting on to get those finishes point. But right now, they're playing with that one man disadvantage. They're almost 3 men standing with a good hold, with a good momentum. Let's see how will they play on. Let's see how will they chase on, or what will be their holding. But right now, some amazing tap shots is being witnessed out, some amazing tap holds has been witnessed out. Let's see for how much more longer time they're able to maintain that same hold or same consistency. Well, I'll request each and every one of you to guys, please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates. Do show your support, because it already always becomes very much important for each of us to get that same support, to get that same momentum. But similarly, on to the another end, if we look at those Yasna Polyana regions, if we look at those another half poly regions, this is really very challenging. This is really very struggling to watch out. 16 teams, 58 players are standing out, and there we could see some amazing fights. It's GLs and Oz getting those knocks onto those right point, getting those areas onto those right point, and those finishes point at this point of the time is totally table turning. Was totally out of the box. We were not expecting that fight to be handled at this particular time, but yes, this is really something different. This is really something challenging to watch. And there you go, it's the frozen fence with those TBS into his hand, getting those shots tightly onto the right point, and a perfect source example has been chased out. 16 teams, 56 players are standing out, and some amazing fights, some amazing momentums could be chased on. Let's see how will they perform out. Let's see what will be the standings, what will be the momentum. But this is the stage 1, and this could be really difficult, this could be really challenging for each of us, that how will they play on. Similarly, on to the other end, and the new zone formation would be forming very soon. But beneath those things, if we look at the other areas, if we look at the other position, well, it's Liquid 5 Esports, so Fury, Catalan, and Mew Mew. All of them are 4 men standing with a great hold and a great position to be maintained out. Let's see for how much more longer time they will attain that same consistency, they will attain that same momentum, or will there be any change in plans or the momentums in the further times. Well, similarly looking at those other regions, similarly looking at those other position, talking about the Water City, well, it's MRX, Piano, Elsa, Mafia, and Mufur. All of them are 4 men standing with those 3 finishes point into their favor, with those 3 holdable points into their favor. A pretty good start, a pretty good momentum could be chased around, a pretty good hold could be maintained around. But right now, this condition, well, this is not looking that holdable enough, this is not looking that faded enough. For how much more longer time they could go with that slow and steady approach, this is also a very important call to be maintained off. But right now, I don't think we will see a lot of fight. There could be some a declining rate in the fight as well. There could be some a softening rate in the fight as well. Let's see how will the players, how will the teams take on those scenarios. But Team GL, well, they're totally focused on loot, they're totally getting those loot totally onto the point, and very difficult scenarios, a very way difficult regions could be seen. But Stalwart Esports, whenever we talk about this particular team, well, from the first 2 matches they were totally phenomenal, and the second 2 matches they were very disappointing to watch out. The first team to be eliminated in the last match was Team Stalwart Esports, which is really very shocking to hear out. But right now in this match, I think there's not a single elimination of any team. Each and every team is competing very hard to get that position, to get that momentum. Let's see finally which team will get that momentum, or which team will get that position in this particular game. Well, there you go, Starlight Esports. So they're still trying to maintain that same decorum. They're still trying to maintain that same hold. A new zone formation could also be being seen around, but beneath that things, guys, I would also like to request, please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, share the stream with your mates, and do show your support as well, because this really becomes very much important, as I said earlier, for each and every one of us to maintain that same decorum, to maintain that same hold, to maintain that same upbringing. And right now I think the same, that we should support each other to maintain that hold. But right now, apart from the rotation, if we look at the zone formation, very soon a new zone formation could be witnessed out, and another new team could also join us very soon. Let's see what will be the results, or let's see what will be the momentum. But right now I would request each and everyone to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream, and do show your support. Well, apart from these region, if we look at those northern parts of the region, if we talk about the Georgia Pool Hills, well, this is also a pretty difficult region to be taken on. This is also very a challenging region to be chased on. Multiple teams could be seen around, multiple players could be seen around, and a lot of chaos, a lot of difficulties. It could also been mentioned out. 16 teams, 56 players are standing. And yes, this could be really challenging, and yes, this could be really difficult for the teams. This is the stage 2. Down the ground, it's Stalwart Esports. Well, they're also having a great hold, they're also having a great momentum to be mentioned of, but I don't think so this is that crucial enough. 16 teams, 56 players are standing around looking at Stalwart Esports. Well, baby, Duka, Violet, and Wisdom, all of them are still standing around, all of them are still waiting around. Let's see how will the players, let's see how will the teams take these position on, what will be the approach. But talking about Stalwart Esports, baby, some amazing shots could be seen around, some amazing momentum has been taken around, and there you go, baby, with that phenomenal knock. This is what we were talking about, this is what we were waiting for, a perfect fight to be started on. And there you go, the fight is totally been on. Let's see which team will be in action, which team will be out of action, and which team will get this fight periodically. Well, this is also a question to be learned out. Well, apart from those things, looking at baby, some amazing shots could be seen, and this is not what we were talking about. This is not what we were looking for. Very clusterized moment, a very challenging moment for the team, a very challenging moment for the players. Baby is still struggling out. She has already got 2 knocks, and the opponents, well, they are looking in a great danger. Well, the opponents are looking in a very great upbringing hold to be taken on. But yes, the most important thing, as fast as revolve the situation out, as fast as you revolve the holdings out, this becomes very much important for each of us to maintain that same decorum, to maintain that same hold, because it is not that easy for each of us to maintain the holdings, to maintain the position. 16 teams, 50 players are standing right now right here. Let's see for how much more longer time they will attain that same consistency and momentum. But talking about Indivala, Jesse, Jadpu, Vitamin, all of them are having a great hold, all of them are having a great position to be mentioned out. And yes, perfect sense of game, a perfect sense of position is being delivered out by these players and these teams as well. Let's see how will they take on those scenarios, how will they take on those positioning. But right now, looking at those central parts of the region, well, this also becomes really very crucial. This also becomes really very challenging for the teams to be taken on. But right now, 16 teams, 39 players are standing out. Southern parts of the region is still looking very, very, very much difficult for the teams, and very, very much difficult for the players. That how will they, contain out the same progression or contain out the same holdings by the teams and players as well. Well, similarly, looking at top 16 teams, top 49 players, we have almost seen elimination of 6 to 7 players. But the most important thing to be mentioned out is, I think the eliminations were not that far away. The eliminations were, not that predictive enough, because not a single team has been eliminated till now. Not a single teams has been, farmed out right now. So this is really something different to take on with. This is really something different to chase on with. They are still waiting on 16 teams, 49 players is standing out, and let's see how will they take on the positioning. Let's see how will they take on the momentum, what will be the hold, what will be the strategies to move on with. Similarly, looking at the current condition, this is not looking that great. Talking about the southern parts of the region, talking about the southern parts of the hold, it's really very difficult to tackle out those scenarios. It's really very difficult to tackle out those positioning. But yes, if we go with that same hold, if we go with that same momentum, this could be really challenging. Talking about TSR, well, Zoria, Babu, Shoes, Farina Zad, all of them are four men standing with a good hold, with a good position. For how much more longer period of time they could hold that same consistency, they could hold that same momentum? This is the question to be tackled down. 16 teams, 49 players are standing out, and this level of competition is totally looking very, very insane. And it was totally unexpected, to sense this level of competition, to sense this level of jiggle at this game. But yes, they are playing very, very harshly, they are playing very, very doably. Until the end, a new zone shrink is formed. The game is going very slow, very unpredictable, very unbearable, unreachable, whatever we can. But yes, right now teams need to take action. Right now, teams need to be, walking around those angles, walking around those situations. As we can see, the zone formation. Well, this is a region where we could see some more fight. This is the region where we could see some more actions right now, right here. Talking about Indoor 15, well, there are four men standing with those one finish point into the favor, and some perfect starts, some perfect fight could be seen around these regions, because Georgiapul Hill is always a region to be carried away. Georgiapul is always a region to be tackled down. It's something, a difficult, something by heartening region to be mentioned of. Well, 16 teams, 49 players has been mentioned out. Let's see for how much more longer time we should wait, or we can wait. Well, 16 teams, 49 players are still standing out, and a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges, could be also maintained out. But similarly, at those central parts of the region, if you look at these region, it's Infini, Janim. Well, I think they are four men standing with those one finishes pointed to the favor. Top 16 teams, top 49 alive players could be seen around. This is the stage 3. This is the zone 3. What we were talking, what we talk about, what we, hold for, and this is something different. This is something really very challenging to be mentioned of. I think the height advantages will play a vital role here. The height advantages will play a very challenging digital role here. But for which team, for which players, I think this will make a difference. This is the question to worry out. Stage 3, well, this is really something challenging. This is really something different. But the game process, the game level is really very slow, which is totally not acceptable. Well, talking about the other teams, talking about the other players, I think it's really very difficult for each and every team, for each and every player to digest the game, to maintain that same hold, to maintain that same consistency. But whatever you play for, whatever you play like, it's really really very difficult. It's really really very challenging for the team to maintain that same holding, to maintain that same momentum. Right now, 15 teams of 49 players are standing out, and it's really something different. It's really something off the box what we talk about to play on right now. Right here, 16 teams, 49 players. It's the number are still same from the starting of the match till here. We joined the game with 16 teams. It's almost 15 minutes, and we are still ending up with almost 16 teams. So yes, there's not a single team elimination has been done. But onto the other end, Georgia Hill, this will not go as same as detected around. This will not go as same as been mentioned around. And some amazing fights could also be seen. Some amazing fights could also be tackled down. Let's see. It will be possibly, you know happening to which team, it will be possibly happening to which player. But right now, it's very much important for each of us to maintain that same decorum, to maintain that same hold. Liquid 5 esports on to the end is still holding on, and take some amazing gold hand grenades has been done. Sus has been taken down. If we talk about Zori and Fanita, well, they're the last two players standing. Bebo on to the end of the game screen. She is still also waiting around. Multiple fights could be seen, multiple regions could be witnessed around, and this is what we talk about. This is what we are waiting for. These multiple fights give us the multiple chaos, give us the multiple holdings, and finally a lot of difficulties with that golden and grenade. Team number 15 will get that fight until the other end. It's team number 12 getting those harsh finishes point. Top 14 teams, top 44 alive players could be seen around. And yes, this is the difficult scenario, this is the difficult region, this is the difficult scenario, this is the difficult region to be maintained on. And 14 teams, 44 players, the number 4 is could be quite lucky, could be quite differentiating and obsessing for some few teams to be taken on. But right now, 14 teams, 43 players are still standing. Let's see which team will get that winner chicken dinner in this particular match. 14 teams, 43 players, teams and players. Well, I think they will try their level best to get a good match out of it. But what I think, I don't think this will be that easy. I don't think this will be that doable enough. But on to the other end, I would request each and everyone to please go to hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates, and do show your support as well. Looking at Liquid 5 esports, they are totally ready for those heal battles. They're totally ready for those tackle scenarios. They're totally ready for those progression. They are totally ready for those holdings. But I don't think this will work for a longer period of time. I don't think this will work for a longer hold. Let's see how will the teams, let's see how will the players perform out, what will be their opinion from their side, what will be their hold from their side. But 13 teams, 37 players, this becomes really really very different for each of us to maintain that same consistency throughout the game. But right now, as this is the stage 5, this is the top 36 alive players, it becomes very much important for each of us to maintain that same hold, maintain that same position or progression to be chased on with. 36 seconds is still left out to get inside the zone and a new zone formation. Well, this is really very important. This is really really very undoable to be taken on, undoable to be chased on. But right now, let's see which team will get that, which team will hold that mark. 10 teams, 33 players are still standing out. 10 teams, 36 players are still waiting on for that goal. On an average from each team, we can see 3.6, which means 3 to 4 players, which is a very decent number to chase on with. Well, some amazing shots are still being delivered out. This is not that easy what we expect for. Well, typically looking at team number 15, they're having those man advantages, they're having those height advantages, which will give them a lot of boost, which will give them a lot of momentum from there, which will give them a lot of progression from there. And I think this might, you know, this might end up having those winner chicken dinner as well, but you can't assure the positioning, you can't assure the holdings as well, you can't assure the that progression as well, because this becomes really very difficult for each of us to maintain that same decorum throughout the game. But right now 19 25 players, as we go inside the game, as we go inside the areas, the difficulties, the challenges will increase more and more. And of course, this will create a lot of struggle, a lot of tackling issues for the team playing inside the game. So yes, 7 teams, 20 players on an average. Each team have at least three players into their side, which will allow them to hold that same momentum, which will allow them to hold that same chaos and cluster. But right now that grenade, which I think that was really something different to take on with, that was really something different to deal on with. Right now 6 teams, 16 players, the number 6 is really looking something different to take on with. Different teams with not different numbers, different teams with the same numbers, number 6. Well, this is something different. And there comes the TBA shot in front of them. It's M416, a really difficult task to be taken on. It's Infinigami, and a perfect surprise attack was given to the players. A perfect surprise attack was given to the teams. Well, this is really becoming difficult for them to be tackled out. 5 teams, 15 players. Both of the screens is the same teams. But talking about team number 17, it's Getso. Well, let's see how will they get. So will they able to get those position? Will they able to get those momentums? Will be able to get the holdings out of this particular game? I don't think so. This will be that easy. But yes, they could try the level best. They could try hard to maintain that legacy, but this could be really difficult to be chased on. Well, on to the end, looking at team number 13, they're also looking in a very close call, and team gets so well. They're also looking in a very close call to be chased on with. I don't think this will be that easy for any one of the team, but yes, this could be really very difficult and challenging for both of the teams to be chased on with. The 4 teams, 11 players are still standing out. 4 teams, 11 players are still waiting on to get those finishes point, to get those holdings, to get those progression. Right now I think this is really very difficult to be maintained off. But onto the end, we're almost on top of 4 teams, top 11 alive players, and a perfect game, a perfect competition could be witnessed out. A perfect competition could be chased around the game, chased around the areas. But still, the winner chicken dinner is very far from both the teams. Well, if we go for a drone shot, I think the things will be more cleared and more energetic enough. For team number 19 lying down the ground, having the perfect areas, having the perfect nodules. 4 teams, 11 players onto the net, and team number 13 getting a good hold out of 15 numbers. Talking about team number 17, they're also holding a very aparted position, a very far sighted position to be maintained off. And this is really something different what we talk for, what we wait for. And whenever the difference arises, a lot of chaos, a lot of difficulties also arises in the game. So yes, if we look at the scenarios, top 3 teams, top 9 players, each team will consist of 3v3 scenario, and let's see which team will get that winner chicken dinner, which team will get that winner chicken dinner from this particular match. But team number 13, they are really looking in a very great danger. 2 players has been taken down. Jessie, she is being that last lone ranger surviving for the team. Let's see, will she able to get those finishes point? Will she be able to get those clutches onto the right side at the right game? I don't think so this will be possible at all. But yes, she's trying her level best to get those position, to get those holes, but I don't think this is possible at all. Well, finally with that blow, now we are on the top 2 teams, top 6 alive players. Team number 13 looking in danger. Last lone player surviving for the team, it's Vitamin. How much vitamin he has, how much vitamin she can deliver? This is the question rising in a very, very close to that winner chicken dinner. Well, this could be the last match, and yes, this is the last match. And with that, perfect shot, Team GL. Well, they will get that winner chicken dinner with almost 14 finishes point into their favor. A perfect game, a perfect execution could be seen around. A perfect match could be seen around, but this is not it, guys. This was just the trailer for the day one. We'll be witnessing some amazing, fantastic game will from today till to another 3 days. But before that, I'll request each of you to please go do hit that like button, subscribe the channel, share the stream with your friends, with your mates. And if we look at the results once, if we look at the game, well, it's Team GL with a perfect finishes point. A perfect game was delivered by the team. But if we talk about few other teams as well, Team Mab, no finishes point. Team TSR, no finishes point. Team Salvat Esports with those two finishes point, again early elimination. So yes, a lot of difficulties could be seen around. But with that, we'll close the day, we'll wind up the day, and we'll meet you guys tomorrow at the same time with some amazing matches. Till then, enjoy the highlights and stay tuned.